Well, first of all, welcome to Saintfield. I'm outside a high school here. And why a high school? Well, they are one of the things that a lot of the people on the Education Committee would like to see, maybe a circuit breaker of those schools, an extended holiday, if you like. And that happened before. It didn't work well for Northern Ireland. These kids that are in here at the moment, that are about to take their exams, were in third year when the first lockdown started. Of course, they've now had about 18 months or so of remote learning, and remote learning is not always the answer. And I spoke to a headmaster yesterday who was worried about such stuff as mental health, social health, and of course education. So Stephen Black spoke to me, and he was a Ballymena headmaster.
Us in education, I think we want to do the best thing by our young people. And the best thing for our young people is to be in school. Provided the medical experts are saying that it's possible to do so, I think we should be doing everything to try and ensure that that's the case. We have been fortunate. Our staff here are very committed, and we haven't had any issues so far in terms of being able to continue with all our young people in school all of the time. It could be a possibility that later on that becomes more challenging. We would certainly prioritise those who are sitting external examinations this year. That would be our A-level, AS level and GCSE year groups would be the ones that we would prioritise to be in school. I think that certainly for them, they've already missed a lot. And I think that with examinations still on the table, and I think that is the right thing for them to be on the table, but with them on the table, I think it's very important that the young people are in school. Neither academically nor in terms of their personal development are young people at the state that we have expected them to have been in normally. And while schools, one aspect of schools is certainly academic development. The other aspect is that whole social development process for young people, whether it be through developing routines, whether it be through support networks that they have to help them, or whether it's just developing qualities such as resilience. They can do that far better in school with the support that's there for them, and even the activities that they can take part in school that allow them to develop those qualities. I think there has been probably more issues in Northern Ireland schools around issues such as mental health and so on, and I think that for us, if schools continue to close, I think we're going to see an increase in that, and society will pay the price of that in us moving forward.
Well, you can see there or hear from Stephen Black that it is very split amongst the educationalists in Northern Ireland as whether it's lockdown or not. But the schools here are pretty much adamant that those that are taking exams will have to stay in, and not so much of these assessed grades coming in place. Now, if that's not hard enough for the executive, the business community in Northern Ireland, particularly those amongst the hospitality sector who have been given some sort of financial help but not enough, are still very, very angry about the lack of time and lack of information that came to them. Now, I was speaking to bar owners only last night who have told me that there's already police entered the premises in some places to ask for people's COVID passports and make sure that they are enforcing all regulations. Now, what is law and what is guidance is still very, very dodgy ground with some publicans, and they're not too sure of what's going on. But I spoke early last week with one of the main business leaders in Northern Ireland. He owns one of the biggest family-owned wholesalers in Great Britain, and he didn't have a great word for the Northern Ireland executive either.
I suppose the initial plan was we felt that Christmas would be like 2019. That was all the noises that we were hearing. So we booked our turkey, we booked our ham, and due to all the supply chain issues, we've had to stock up much heavier than we normally would have. And then I suppose we started to hear little bits of rumblings with the COVID passports and different things late November, December, but actually sales have been okay. And it's in the last few weeks that we've just seen a real kind of cliff edge as customers have got very, very nervous about ordering goods, and consumers have just stopped going out with no plan B, no plan C, no knowledge to us in the supply chain or to our customers of what's coming next. I cover Scotland, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. The difficulty I have is that is 3 different jurisdictions with 3 different COVID regulations right now. And I seem to spend my life on either Twitter or on news sites finding out what's going to happen next. So that is a real frustration of business. We've been here time and again, last March, last kind of winter, then again in January, then again this summer. Regulations have chopped and changed, and that is very difficult for the hospitality industry. I think when I look at our three jurisdictions, ironically, probably Scotland has been the most helpful in terms of Nicola Sturgeon comes out and very clearly says, look, here's the plan. I may not like it, but I have more knowledge as to what's going to happen. And again, I think in Southern Ireland, we probably at least get some notice of what's going to happen down there. Unfortunately, the worst jurisdiction has been the Northern Ireland Executive. It's the not knowing is the hardest part for us as businesses. They don't understand that hospitality has a supply chain behind that, be it food, drink, whatever, fresh veg, fresh food. And we have to try and plan. And without any kind of level of guidance or thought process, that is very, very difficult. Throughout this pandemic, we haven't even had rates relief in our business as a food wholesaler. From all of those lockdowns, the amount of lost stock is in the tens of thousands of pounds for us as a business. And the view has been, well, that's a too difficult box to tick, so we just have to deal with that.
And Dougie, of course, a key night in the industry is New Year's Eve. Lots of people will be waiting to see what the implications might be for tomorrow.
Indeed, and it's Ireland. It's a bit like Scotland. We have a big night here, and of course that has all now been locked down. There's 6 people to a table. You have to have a COVID passport going in. You're not allowed any more than a few per house mixing. You know, and I know, and anybody in the real world will know that what will happen is house parties, etc., will take place, and how the police are going to actually manage that in any one way is actually totally impossible. So it'll be quite an interesting night to see New Year's Eve go over in Northern Ireland. I can't see it being a quiet one.